It's a very great pleasure indeed to introduce this afternoon Ursula Graham Bower, the author of Naga Path. In the long history of great women travellers produced by Great Britain, one of the most notable is Ursula Graham Bower. Coming from the upper-class English public school background, she moved out to India, as we'll hear, and proceeded to live for a longer period among a almost naked tribal society than any other explorer or anthropologist has ever done. She proceeded to fight against the Japanese and to record her memoirs in several books and articles which have sold very widely indeed. Her life story is one of the most intriguing and extraordinary of this century, and I would like to introduce Ursula Graham Bower, whom I will
Yes, here she's shaping it. And this is the stage where the Manipuri pottery is very different from the Tangkhul pottery, because to get the first round shape to work with after you've rolled the clay out, the Tangkhuls would take a section of giant bamboo and wrap the clay around that to give the basic shape, which probably gives you something much smoother. Although the Manipuri lady's done a good job actually, just doing it by eye. But that was how the Tangkhuls got their first shape. I love this. I love the way she's spinning around. And for such a simple way of making pots without even a wheel. This, I think, is the groom's procession. You see the cloths they're wearing? The dark colour would probably be a lovely wine red, because of course we were in black and white film here. Look at the house at the back. I think it's a rich man's house. It's quite big. And the front of the house is roofed with shingles, and my mother says that only the richest men in the village had shingle roofing on their house. It's partly shingle and partly thatch. So here they are, rather solemnly advancing towards us. You'll see that some of the men have got the typical Tangkhul haircut. These are Tangkhul Nagas. This means shaving up the sides of the head and having a kind of punk sort of crest on the top. Now, these are probably the women from the groom's house bringing all the gifts of shawls and other things for the bride and her family. And this, of course, filmed in probably 1939, would have been an animist wedding. At the time, very few of the Nagas had been converted to Christianity. These days, if you attended a wedding in the same village, the chances are that the couple would be Christian, and the bride would be wearing a nice white dress and a white veil, and she'd have a bouquet and all the sort of Western traditions. Because these days about, depending who you're talking to, 70 or 90% of the Nagas are Christian these days. And I think at that time, somebody must have said to her, well, why don't you try taking film? And I think there was an interest in photography in the family generally. And I think Ursula adopting film was a little bit in the same vein. She was so desperate to prove herself too, and to make this a career and to really do well at it. So she wanted to do things that other people were not doing. And our film gave her that opportunity.